Straight ahead on 12 News, what's new in a park near you?
But once we came here, it was like, holy cow, this is really cool.
Plus, an overnight fire that causes significant damage to a New Hope apartment complex. But first, a murder-suicide case in Los Angeles leads to another person found dead in Brooklyn Park. 12 News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. The gunman who police say shot and killed a UCLA professor in Los Angeles before committing suicide is now linked to a homicide in Brooklyn Park.
The Brooklyn Park woman killed was on a kill list traced to 38-year-old Minok Sarkar. 12 News reporter Eric Nelson is live in Brooklyn Park with more. Eric?
Alex and Mike, this is a bizarre story that has quite a twist to it. It involves 2 states and a cross-country drive, and it resulted in one woman dead here in Brooklyn Park and a professor dead at UCLA.
It's been several years since anything has happened in this neighborhood. We don't even have car crashes.
The residents on Pearson Parkway are used to peace and tranquility in their neighborhood, but not today.
We believe at this point that she was deceased prior to the UCLA shooting.
They received jolting news that one of Sarkar's apparent shooting victims lived on their block.
The female that lived at this address in Brooklyn Park was on a hit list that they believe was created by the shooter in the UCLA incident.
I don't want stuff like that happening in my neighborhood. Yeah. Nobody does. Yeah. It's, makes you wonder what's going on.
Early this morning, the LAPD tipped off Brooklyn Park police.
Brooklyn Park officers responded to the 2400 block of Pearson Parkway at a residence and made a welfare check where they did locate an adult female who was found deceased from a apparent gunshot wound.
We believe that Sarkar came to the LA area very recently, within the last couple of days. He traveled from Minnesota.
The name of the female victim has not been released by authorities, but neighbors described occupants of the house as private and quiet.
That's kind of scary. I mean, we don't have any stuff like that happening in this neighborhood. It's a good, clean, quiet neighborhood.
Now we are also learning more details about the Brooklyn Park victim. Multiple media outlets are reporting that she is 31-year-old Ashley Hasty, seen here in this photo with Minok Sarkar. 12 News has confirmed that Hasty is a University of Minnesota medical student and was scheduled to be enrolled there this summer. 12 News also has learned that Hasty used to be a student at North Hennepin Community College in Brooklyn Park. Now, no one is sure what motivated Sarkar to go on his killing spree. We do know that Sarkar had accused the professor at UCLA of stealing a computer code from him. Sarkar last lived in St. Paul, got a master's degree at Stanford, and was a PhD student at UCLA. Mike and Alex?
All right, Eric, thank you very much. About 36 people are without a home tonight after a fire broke out at a New Hope apartment complex. Firefighters made their way to the Broadway Village apartment shortly after midnight Thursday to find a first-floor unit fully engulfed. The fire then made its way to units on the second and third floors. Firefighters had the fire under control in about 20 minutes, and all of the residents and their pets escaped unharmed. Investigators say without the presence of smoke detectors, the situation could have turned out much worse.
Pay attention, just be alert to what's going on. A lot of these residents had just went to bed or were going to bed, and the alarms alerted them, and often when they do go off, people ignore them. And in this case, had they ignored them, it could have been a lot different circumstances. And this time they got up and they left the apartment, and it probably saved lives this time.
Much of the fire damage was contained to 3 units, but other apartments have smoke damage and carbon monoxide present. The Red Cross is providing temporary shelter and other aid to 25 people affected by the fire. No word yet on when residents will be allowed back into their apartments.
A scary situation overnight on I-394 in the Golden Valley, St. Louis Park area. A wrong-way driver headed west on 394 in the eastbound lanes crashed into another vehicle that tried to swerve and get out of the way. It happened near the Louisiana Avenue exit. Police say they detected alcohol in the 24-year-old wrong-way driver from White Bear Lake. He was booked into the Hennepin County Jail. Fortunately, no one was hurt in the crash.
A Plymouth man who wheeled his unresponsive mother into a bank to make a withdrawal before reporting her dead is now being held in the Hennepin County Jail on $1 million bail. David Vanzo was arrested in California in March and was extradited back to Hennepin County. He made his first court appearance on Wednesday. According to the criminal complaint, Vanzo and his 90-year-old mother entered a local Wells Fargo bank and withdrew $850. 6 hours later, Vanzo called Plymouth police to report her death. It's one of the first criminal neglect cases in Hennepin County since the legislature upgraded it to a felony 3 years ago.
Anyone visiting schools in the Wayzata School District will soon have to go through tighter security. The district is implementing a new registration system at the entries of all 13 of its schools. The new system will require visitors who want to enter a building during school hours to swipe their state ID. The system then prints out a visitor badge with a date and photo and stores that information in a database. Once people are entered into the system, they can sign themselves in or out by scanning their ID at a kiosk.
In addition, the system does run guests through a background check and checks to see if there's any registered sex offenders that are seeking to enter a building. If that were to happen, although remote, it would notify administrators in the building.
Schools will schedule events in the fall to get parents entered into the system. District officials say the only information stored by the system will be name, date of birth, and driver's license photo, and none of that information will be shared with other agencies. Spending a day at the park is much different than it used to be.
Now, park designers are moving away from those traditional swings and slides. Instead, as reporter Shannon Slatton explains, cities want parks that are truly one of a kind.
Today's actually my first day at this park.
In any direction you look.
You ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
At the new Central Park playground in Maple Grove,
Once we came here, it was like, holy cow, this is really cool.
you'll see something cool.
My little girl's reaction was screams and running all the way down, so I'm sure you get a lot of those from other kids too.
This park is designed to be a destination and draw people in time and time again.
There's so many different areas to play in that the kids we can spend hours here and they still don't want to go home.
And that's the whole idea, says landscape structures consultant Chris DeRoche.
The key is kind of creating a space that has is multi-layered. So there's a lot of different things for kids to do, and when they come back, it's kind of different every time.
Playground designers don't want you to just go to your neighborhood playground every day, but instead explore to find something new.
It's custom designed, so there's nothing like this out anywhere else in the world. It's just unique here to Maple Grove.
We're thinking, what kind of creative element can we bring into this area too?
The playground at Robbinsdale's Triangle Park is more than 20 years old.
This is the icon playground piece.
So it will get an upgrade this fall.
The electronic piece is going to go where this one is going to go. It's going to be different but fun. You know, an electronic playground equipment means running and touching some lights. But first you're going to tell a little server what you want to do.
A Hennepin County Youth Sports grant will help pay for a new electronic playground that will set this park apart and make it something new to discover.
Just the ability to use electronics for agility, for memory, for speed, it's fun. But you know what, you can still climb around on an electronic playground piece.
In Robbinsdale, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
The playground update is only the first wave of improvements to be made at Triangle Park. The ball field and wading pool will be updated at a later date. Well, coming up, gardening advice from a Champlin woman who has made plants her passion.
And then a little bit later in sports, highlights from section play in girls and boys lacrosse.
But first, good to keep an eye on the sky. There's a chance for some severe weather on Friday. Well, whether you're a new gardener or a seasoned pro, there's probably a tip or two you could learn from one Champlin woman.
In the garden this week, Bunny Carlson has a green thumb and an eye for design. It's not hard to understand why Bunny Carlson finds gardening soothing. Her Champlin yard is an oasis of calm with 12 different flower gardens.
You can just see how it's got these fun colors and everything. It's just a wonderful peonies.
Gardens like these don't grow overnight. What's clear to the eye is that this is a labor of love that stretched over many years for Bunny.
I like to make things look beautiful, so I think It's relaxing for me, yeah.
She started with one small flower garden in 1989. Over the years, this part-time hairstylist and one-time landscape designer started adding more gardens that bloom throughout the year.
This is my hot sun garden, and I put everything out here that can tolerate the hot sun. I certainly water it and have good soil in there.
More than 24 varieties of irises command your attention right now, and it's often where you'll find bunnies. She's primping flowers and pulling weeds to maintain the beauty.
I tell people, go around with a bucket and have a clippers and a little shovel every day, 5 or 10 minutes.
For the gardener looking to take it to the next level, Bunny recommends repetition. Expand by planting a zigzag of one type of flower throughout a garden.
So you don't want to put things in a straight line like soldiers tend at all.
A pergola here, an arbor there, helps add interest too. But if you're just starting to get your hands dirty with gardening, Bunny's best piece of advice: pick colors you love and start small.
If you do a 10 by 10 area, that's 100 square feet, that would be an hour of maintenance a week.
Coming up, how you can help a Maple Grove woman get a leg up in the Miss USA competition.
But first, singles and doubles titles are on the line at the Section 5 boys tennis tournament. John Jacobson has that and more next in sports. Next up is the state tennis tournament for some singles and doubles, not teams, but singles and doubles.
And some really good players in this area, and we'll go to state next week after Wayzata claimed the team title a week ago. Singles and doubles titles were on the line at the Section 5 AA boys tennis tournament. The U of M's Baseline Tennis Center, the site. Singles final on set point. Wayzata's Nick Beattie with a return winner, taking the first set 6-1. Second set, Beattie will come to the net, but a nice passing shot by Maple Grove's Charlie Atkins wins him the point. Beattie on the attack again, and a big forehand sets up a backhand volley winner. Beattie wins in straight sets. Atkins advances to state by beating teammate Sam Hochberger in a true second match. Now on the doubles championship, Armstrong's Nikita Snezhko, the forehand winner there against Sam Simon and Denny Kornberg of Wayzata. His partner Joe Lipovitz will get the backhand winner there. Later, Lipovitz's serve sets up the volley winner for Snezhko, and they win in straight sets. The state tournament starts next Tuesday with team competition. Singles and doubles play starts next Thursday. Many local lacrosse teams were in action Wednesday night as section quarterfinals were played. Third seed Osseo-Park Center hosting 6th seed Wayzata in Section 8 boys play. First quarter, Boone Almquist, great pass to Jack Hauser for the score, putting Osseo-Park Center up first. They go up 2-0 before Wayzata starts to dominate play. Watch Riley Nelson, deke Max Johnson, and he finishes with a low shot, giving the Trojans a 3-0 lead. Second quarter, individual effort by Amar Batra. Great play here. He gets banged around, still manages to beat the goalie while falling for a goal. And everything goes Wayzata's way. Luke Getz sends the field length pass, takes a couple of bounces before Brooks Hansen deposits the ball in the net. And the Trojans are up 7-3 at halftime. OPC tries to come back in the third quarter. Noah Fleming puts the shot away from a tough angle. And that gets them back with an 8-4, but Batra and the Trojans too tough after taking the pass from Alexander Solly. Batra fires in his third goal of the game. Wayzata wins it by a score of 16-10 over OPC. Maple Grove loses 8-5 to top seed Rogers. That sets up the semifinals Friday. Rogers hosts STMA while Wayzata is at Elk River in a noon game because of Wayzata's graduation Friday night. In Section 8, girls play. Top seed Maple Grove crushes St. Cloud 18-4. Fourth seed Wayzata over Buffalo 16-1. And second seed Osseo-Park Center edges Elk River Zimmerman 11-10. Wayzata is at Maple Grove in an afternoon semifinal Friday. OPC will host St. Michael Albertville at 7 o'clock at Osseo on Friday night. The Champlin Park girls are the top seed in Section 7. The Rebels hosting Andover in the quarterfinals. Champlin Park's in silver, and Sam Nolan heads to the net before dropping the pass. Demi Everett gets the goal, 2-0 Champlin Park. Hannah Krimble weaves through the Huskies defense to tuck a shot away here. Rebels well on their way to a win. They take a 4-0 lead with that goal. Leading 6-0, Nolan gets loose and increases the lead with a low shot for another goal to make it 7-0 Champlin Park. Tara Dahlman from the free position buries a shot here for a goal. It's 10-0 Champlin Park. They would lead 13-2 at halftime. In the second half, more of the same. Dahlman will score once again as the Rebels trounce the Huskies 19-3. They'll host Blaine in the semis on Friday. Well, checking out the weather chart to see if it's safe outside is a good way to start gauging weather conditions when headed out fishing. But Terry Tuma says you can do more and explains in this week's Channel 12 fishing tip.
We all know how important weather plays a role in catching fish. One of the major questions I have been asked, this also pertains to ice fishing, not just open water fishing, is the barometer readings. And everybody's really confused. High barometer reading, low barometer reading, steady barometer. Generally speaking, as we show right now, we got a steady barometer at right around a little over 30, which is excellent for fishing. So that means today fish are going to bite. But when you have the barometer that's rising, that's going to be a tougher bite than when it's falling. Generally speaking, at 29.2 to 30.9 is going to be your best time frames to catch fish. But all this does is it's an indicator. The falling barometer, as I mentioned, is better than the rising. Steady barometer is the best, but if you can get into this green area, that's really good fishing. But what this does that mean we shouldn't go fishing? Absolutely not. What it really means is now we're going to expect, maybe it's a rising barometer, a real high barometer, tougher bite. So we're going to rig up for a tougher bite, maybe small, slow, and subtle. These are maybe going deeper, depending on what happened with the weather pattern the day before or the morning before. These are major ingredients. Weather plays a big role in the mood of these fish, aggressive, neutral, and negative fish. Give it a try, understand the weather, understand your barometer. You're going to be much more successful for any species of fish.
Thanks, Terry. We'll have highlights from section softball, baseball, track and field, a lot of stuff coming up Friday starting at 4.
All right, green for good fishing. Gotta remember that, right? Still ahead, how you can play a part in a Maple Grove woman's quest for the crown.
And how you can help Bridget Jacobs advance in the Miss USA competition. We'll be right back. Well, finally, a Maple Grove woman representing Minnesota and competing for the title of Miss USA needs your vote.
That's right. Listen to this. Bridget Jacobs is in Las Vegas for the preliminary round of the Miss USA pageant. A fan vote, though, can catapult her into the top 15. You can vote for Bridget either at MissUSA.com or through the Miss USA app. Voting ends Saturday at 8 p.m. and Fox will broadcast the pageant coming up on Sunday. So good luck to Bridget.
Good luck, Bridget. Yeah.
That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
And we will see you back here again Friday, starting at 4.